Hi, it's me, the Vertical Spy 17, and yeah, welcome to a new portion of my show called This is Underrated. So today's episode is going to be a movie that I find completely underrated, completely watchable, completely great, but it didn't do good at the box office. Yeah. So, before I start, gotta have my iced tea. So, today's episode is going to be, well, I have the DVD of this, Rise of the Guardians. So Rise of the Guardians is something I really wanted to talk about. So pretty much, let me tell you my story. Well, before I heard about this movie, I just kept saying to myself,
oh, it's some stupid DreamWorks movies that tries to appeal to older audiences, but not many people can get into it. Oh, fuck it, I don't give a crap about it.
But when I heard several good reviews of it, some people kind of said, hey, it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of epic like Dragon Ball Z. So since I love Dragon Ball Z, I love it. And since several people were saying it's not your usual kids film where they kind of just treat kids like idiots or just think kids are gonna like hip and cool, new looking shows like what they do for the Alvin and the Chipmunks pieces of shit. And also, what can I also say? Oh, yeah. And you know what? This movie, it's so underrated to the point of the fact that it is, or it should have been, a hit. Now let me explain what the story is. Pretty much, our main character, Jack Frost, is pretty much trying to find, he's pretty much trying to find, his part in life. Like, this is how the world goes where it comes to people like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, Sandman, and the Easter Bunny. When it comes to them, they have experiences of taking kids, have their fun and joyness be them trying to bring their fun and joyness, and also try to make it more like they're trying to bring more life into their world, and also how they still exist. People have to believe in them, and if they don't believe in them, they can just pretty much be invisible. So pretty much Jack Frost, he's pretty much been invisible for the last 300 years. In 300 years, he's now found his destiny to be a guardian. So pretty much Jack is pretty much the character we relate to. And yes, he's voiced by the new James T. Kirk himself, Chris Pine. And to be honest, Chris Pine, he's been on a roll since then. So pretty much, yeah, Chris Pine, I can see him doing more roles in the future, hopefully. So pretty much Chris Pine's character, he has credibility, he has likability, he has all those things. He's pretty much is a character that you can relate to, and a character you just want to see make it to the top. Also, we have a surprising good performance by, and I swear to God, I had no idea he was even in this movie. Alec Baldwin as Santa Claus. Yeah! Alec Baldwin as Santa Claus, or as they call him, Norm, apparently. But despite that, yeah. Norm's accent is kind of like typical 1960s cartoon villain. Everybody lives this day. I don't know. I can do it better one. I just can't do it right now. But despite that, he does a very good job. He's pretty much the leader of the group. We have Tooth Fairy, who's voiced by, I think I've heard of this lady, but despite that, yeah, the Tooth Fairy is very creatively designed. She's practically sort of like, she's a fairy, but also she has feathers, so she's kind of a bird type of fairy that's not around pigeons a lot. But despite that, she actually brings some likability in her character. And also, let's talk about Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman. Good eye, Mike. And also, Hugh Jackman, he does, well, what he's, guess, born for, being a Australian Aussie. Pretty much, yeah, he's, or as Jack likes to call him, a kangaroo. Yeah. But despite that, yeah. Jackman, well, as long as I forget about that piece of shit fuck movie called Movie 43. Oh, why did you star in that movie? But despite that, yeah, Hugh Jackman does a good job. And pretty much, he's mostly the badass of the group. Yeah, Norm's the leader, Jack's the main focus, and he's pretty much the badass of the whole entire group. The one that pretty much has something cool about him. And yes, Sandman, who's not voiced by anybody, so pretty much how Sandman kind of interacts, he has on top of his head, he has like little, like sand basically describe, what he's thinking or what he's trying to say. Yeah, it's pretty much creative. But to be honest, I was kind of worried about him being sort of like the Jar Jar Binks of the whole entire film. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. Or just hoping that he would be just this, like, silent character who has no personality. Or, actually he does, he is a silent character. He does have personality, which makes him good. And he has several moments where he's actually funny. And there's several moments where he's actually cool. Yeah. So let's also talk about our main villain, Pitch Black, done by British girl streaming guy Jude Law. So pretty much I guess despite that, this is a villain that you can understand why he's the villain. You can understand why he's causing trouble, why he's evil, because pretty much he's the boogeyman. But despite that, the boogeyman, well, Pitch Black, he pretty much is, well, a villain that you can understand why he's a villain, and also a villain that you can understand why he does what he does. Pretty much he wants to spread darkness in the whole entire world, and he needs the kids' fear so he can feel visible completely. So pretty much I like the idea of this movie. So pretty much let me just put it like this. Characters are likable. The villain has a reason why he's a villain. And the story, the kids, well, these kids, I was kind of worried that the kids were going to kind of be these type of, well, seeing the trailer or commercial of this, I was kind of worried that they were going to be these, like, obnoxious, annoying, degrading kids. But they didn't make them too pop cultural. Like, they still wear, like, hoodies and ride skateboards, which is what kids do completely. But this is what kids did before we had, like, iPhones and before we had the internet. Well, I think we did have the internet back then. But, this is when kids were actually kids. This is what I like about movies like this. They show kids playing outside, hanging out, wanting to look forward for holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas and Easter or stuff like that. It's things that kids used to do back in the 90s that kids probably might do nowadays. But despite that, this is what kids should be doing. Not always be on their phones.
Testing, I'm testing, 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 I'm still testing.
Yeah. This is what kids should be doing. And you know what? These kids are even likable. I even like the scene where they're, trying to stand with, Jack Frost, Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny when he's now shortened down to an actual bunny. like when they're trying to stand like they're superheroes in their pajamas. But despite that, this is a good movie. This is a very good movie. And it didn't do good at the box office. Now let me just say this. It didn't bomb. Let's just say that. It didn't bomb. It wasn't one of the worst movies, but it did kinda okay-ish. It kinda did okay, but not getting a lot of its money back. And to tell you the truth, this is very disappointing because this is a kids' film that doesn't treat kids like idiots. Like I said, they don't have like a stupid hip hop song or some crappy ass hip hop song that these dumbass kids movies do nowadays, where they try to act all,
oh, look at us, we're cool, we're hip, we're all that in a bag of chips.
like, fuck that shit. They don't even do that in this movie. They have it just be a movie. No pop culture crap. No stuff that's gonna be like, oh, it's kid stuff. No, it's not kid stuff. This is something that even adults could watch. Like 21 through 30 through 40 or something like that. Yeah, this is something that adults can watch also and not feeling like they want to punch themselves in the nuts or punch themselves in the face. Yeah, this is a movie that doesn't be a pain in the ass. These are characters who you like, who should be liked, but guess what? You'll always like them. So pretty much, Vertical Spy is saying, see this movie. So pretty much, Rise of the Guardians, you know, for once, since I love this movie, I'm giving it 4 stars out of 5. Yeah. So till next time, yeah, I am going to do another episode. This is overrated. And also, This is Overrated will have its second episode, which will be for Avatar. James Cameron's Avatar. But also, for the next This is Underrated, I think I'm going to do a movie that I think I always wanted to do when I was 11. Yeah. So pretty much, Vertical Spy, outro.